There's something about listening to the first section of the record, Lift Your Skinny Fist Like a Tennis to Heaven, while being in a deep depression. Between life and death is where we find ourselves at the beginning of all, a child perceiving light pass through its closed eyelids as these warm, bright tones envelop us. For a moment while listening, I am not me. I'm not in this body. Every cruelty experience a bygone. Finally I get to drown in that innocence and peace so many long for, as the sound waves take me somewhere safer, somewhere better. Godspeed You, Black Emperor is a Canadian post-rock band, and if you're a fan of them, that opening paragraph might not be the first thing you associate the band with. Most of the records are literally about living with the hopelessness due to our increasing failing governments. This year, in fact, they released their latest studio record, note titled as of 13th February 2024, 28,340 Dead. Yeah, get used to these long names. If you can't guess, the title of this record and the songs on the album itself are a response to the ongoing Gaza slaughter happening right now. What makes them different from other political left-leaning bands like A System of a Down, Rage Against the Machine, or Radiohead is they go beyond mentioning the failings of governments. With just music and no lyrics, they go out of their way then to portray the helplessness and individual experiences being under a neglectful system. That's probably why the opening to Lift Your Skinny Fist is such a weird divergence from the rest of the catalog, because it's by far the most hopeful, beautiful piece they have ever written, and they just continue building and building, adding in more layers of these beautiful collages of sound, and you can only wonder what it is they're trying to do. I certainly had no idea since I knew nothing about the band going in, which left me at their mercy. Deliver us from the gathering storm, unworthy though we are, leaving us living safe and warm and sheltered in your arms. Fallen out of grace are we, sinless never more to be. Deliver us from the gathering storm, unworthy though we are. Deliver us from the shadows and fear, and brighten us our night, or lift us out of the valley of sin, and leave our path in life. These are the lyrics that are supposed to be sung with the melody of the next section of Storm. The text added with the music gives again this picture of a helpless being, or as I called it, a child in need of protection. The song builds up and you can almost feel this prayer being heard and accepted by just how hopeful it all sounds. Which is why the next section of Storm changes everything. The beautiful sunny winds of before really are a storm now. The instruments are all fighting in this collage of sound as they try to embarrassingly pick themselves up again, to maybe go back to where they once were before, but it's to no avail. Everything slowly dies out, the tempo, the sounds, life itself, and we're left to question why this happened.
Welcome to Arco AM/PM Mini Market. We would like to advise our customers that any individual who offers to pump gas, wash windows, or solicit products is not employed by or associated with this facility. We discourage any contact with these individuals and ask that you report any problems to uniformed personnel inside. Thank you for shopping at Arco AM/PM and have a pleasant day. Welcome to Arco AM/PM Mini Market. We would like to advise our
Have you ever thought
customers
about
that
when
any
children become aware of the hopeless world they live in? More importantly, that there's nothing they can do about it. You can help one homeless guy, sure, but why is that your responsibility when the government have the fundings to efficiently help all of them? And so you watch as you yourself struggle economically, struggle to take care of your own basic needs. You watch the world around you die slowly, even though you knew it could be prevented. This is Plato's cave. Even if you want to blindly ignore the blatant failings of the government, you can't. The child inside you who was so blissfully unaware is dead. Children can lose their innocence over a lot of things, but the particular failing of a people's responsibility is such an archetypal experience for everyone that it can't be overlooked. I certainly can't help it. I live with anxiety due to my own government and other countries' government as well, knowing there is nothing I can do. This was just the opening to Lift Your Skinny Fist, and Godspeed are only going to take you deeper down this hole of despair. How, you ask? How about nuclear warfare? If we continue with my interpretation of the child who has grown to see and fathom the horrors of the world, then it's easy to conclude that such a disoriented mind would find themselves in the desolate world Static's opening takes place in. It's not that the world has changed, but we have. We hear an announcement of time using the atomic clock, but we all know what Godspeed is really referring to. We know what we have coming our way.
At the tone, 3 hours, 21 minutes. Coordinated universal time.
So what can man do when faced with the chaos of the world, except reach beyond the materialistic and find God? We hear a sample of a preacher woman telling us how to achieve enlightenment. You'll have to die to the eager nature, she says, to let yourself forego to God completely. What's interesting is that the comfort God can bring us is not making the world better or simply comforting us in our time of need. It takes a death. This is all a dream in death. There'll be nothing you will be looking for in this world excepting for your God. The only way a human can receive peace in this world is to die on it. It's a cruel comfort, but perhaps the only one. The next section of the song, World Police and Friendly Fire, is one that sees our protagonist imagining this comfort being placed upon all of us through one bomb. Have you ever imagined what you would do if you knew a nuclear bomb was going to hit someplace on Earth within a couple of minutes? Even if you weren't there to experience the mushroom cloud that forms from the ground up, you'll have those minutes to think about how the world will never be the same again. How you'll never be the same again. That's the next part of Static, and by God is it intense. Music swells up one final time, but it refuses to release. It's probably meant to reflect how a nuclear bomb falling down from the sky would feel like. Just continuous, accelerating downward motion, but yet so far from the ground. Every second begins to matter as the mind slowly clouds up. Fog of distant memories start to flash. You realize this is it. This is fucking it. It's close. Take us, God. the buildings they are sleeping now is the last section of static. Even though world police felt like hell, you'll know what true hell is after a bomb's implosion. As the air starts choking itself, everything, every person, every natural element is affected by it. Its radiation being the flame from Tartarus itself, and it stays like that forever.
Anyways, let's see, what else? It was Coney Island, they called Coney Island the playground of the world. There was no place like it in the whole world, like Coney Island when I was a youngster. No place in the world like it. It was so fabulous. Now it shrunk down to almost nothing, you see? and I still remember in my mind how things used to be. And,
This is Murray Austral speaking. Even though he's some random guy I've never heard of and will undoubtedly never hear of again, he means everything to me.
They don't sleep anymore on the beach.
I have no attachment to Coney Island or anything related to it, and no matter how hard Mr. Austral tries to explain why that place meant so much to him, he can't, and that's the point, because it can only be his place. Did you ever have that special location you always went to? A sanctuary that felt comforting? Because you knew that no matter how much you grew up, or your friends and family grew up, that place would always stay the same, always have that comforting feel. And then one day, you return to that place and it's just gone. There are fragments of what you once knew to be there, but the pieces are all scattered. And you might try and talk to someone about how this place used to be so much better, so much more alive, but they just shrug it off. The one thing that was supposed to never change did so, and so very unforgivingly. Imagine Mannheim, the name of Sleep's second movement, is Godspeed Sanctuary. It's where they recorded some material back in 1998, and maybe one of the members have a deeper connection to it. And even if not, maybe a young boy or girl is starting to form that connection right now, and they'll have to be forced to watch their sanctuary be turned slowly into something they don't want to see changed. Another fragment of your life has been torn from you, and all there is to do is just internally wail. Next section of Sleep, called Broken Windows, Locks of Love Part 3, has my favorite moment of this record. Everything slowly dies out, the guitars, the intensity, the agony, and you just hear this. It's just this. Some guitar lines going up and down, like a baby being cradled back and forth, whispering oh so gently in your ears. It's alright. Things are not what they used to be. I understand. I used to walk around my town, alone in the night, and whenever I heard this section I would just bulk out cry. I had no one to comfort me at that point in my life. No one I could talk to that genuinely could help me, family or friends, and hearing this was that missing comfort I was looking for. I cried because not only had the album accurately been able to articulate my anxieties, more so how those anxieties made me feel, but then it had the ability to then directly reach out to me and comfort, to send sound waves that resembled a hug. I listened to this section today, knowing without it, I probably wouldn't be here. In May of 2015, the City Council of Paris decided to remove all of the padlocks on... I'm not gonna pronounce that. Due to the sheer weight of them causing damage to the bridge, they even installed panels to prevent lovers from placing new ones. I'm not bringing this up because I believe Godspeed prophesied this happening. Locks of Love is probably not even a direct mention to the one bridge in Paris. What's so interesting to me is the physical act of two lovers writing down their names on a lock, attach it to a bridge, and throwing away the key, sealing their fate as eternal lovers, to then an outside force to remove the said padlock. Will the lovers' fate be removed? Maybe. But in that moment when they did it, that's a memory they'll always be able to cherish in their heart. They might even be blissfully unaware of what happened to their precious lock of love. Sure, Coney Island will never be the same again, but Mr. Oster will always have those memories in his heart, a past tense hope to keep him going, living, happy. It might be paradoxical to say the past can give hope, especially if you don't believe the future will get any better, but I find it hard to believe it isn't hopeful to have memories be a sanctuary for myself. I can sleep peacefully knowing that. Like a Tennis to Heaven is the last track of this record, and I can only imagine it being the epilogue of the story. And therefore, the only appropriate ending is reflecting back on our life. Whereas Storm's opening led us to experience ourselves again through the eyes of a child and the subsequent realization of what hopeless reality we really are in, like a Tennis to Heaven's opening lets us reflect back on us as children through the eyes of an adult. We are disposable from the moment we are born. We're all just waiting for that one guy in the big chair to prove that by pressing that red button, dooming us all. We had children sing a French revolutionary song, a reminder of a past war none of us experience and none of us feel the effect of. Sure, a tyrannical monarchy fell, but another neglectful government rose from its ashes, which might also fall to its ruins. But we know another tyrannical system will rise from that as well. It's a vicious cycle, even if in the moment of victory it might seem freeing. So what's left? Sulk until we die? It certainly feels like that from time to time. You might wonder how this album changed my life. You would be remiss to think that I'm just advocating for suicide at this point, but there is one more section to the last track of Lift Your Skinny Fist that needs to be talked about. It's called She Dreamt She Was a Bulldozer. She dreamt she was alone in an empty field. This title and the music accompanying it is what the entire record has led up to. It begins melancholic, probably due to the sad realization of our unimportance in this world, how useless we are to change it for the better, and how easy it all can be taken away from us forever. It's not fair. But then the instrumentation blasts open, a wall of sound reminiscing us of storm lets loose yet again. It's everything where we want it to be, hopeful, joyous, victorious even. It's finally back and here to stay. Please stay. Please. And then it just stops.
There's a blinding, limitless light exploding sometimes, and we're still rolling in our retarded gospel caravan, always hoping for more giddiness mostly, more awkward joy. One thing to still believe in is the awesome, humble beauty of everyone's ramshackle belief systems, held together by spit, intuition, and golden thread. Or else dead tired and driving at night, full of crazy ideas, unrealized plans, and endless vistas of possibility. Blink open for just 1 second and then snap shut. Maybe. But the glow of those moments add up, and maybe we all get better at elongating them, stretching them, holding them, and sharing them.
It's okay, this world, sometimes. I guess in a macrocosm, everything is big and terrifying. But in the small aspects of life, there is beauty. Your partner smile, a relaxing walk through nature, creating a piece of art, or consuming someone else's. And these moments of introspection might be far and from between life, but they are there, and they are worth chasing. These moments reflect the title of this section. You might be alone in an empty field, but you are a bulldozer, fighting through it all, one day at a time. And maybe that's enough. Maybe you're enough. If the world ends tomorrow, at least you have you. You are good enough. I'm good enough. The song isn't done. The second to last section of this album is called Death Camp Throne. Yeah, I can only interpret this as your last few moments in life. Luckily I'm not there yet. I hope when I come to that point I prove myself in some sort of way that my life did have some meaning. Maybe this video could provide that meaning. That would be comforting. The last section of this album is called Antennas to Heaven. I imagine we're back between life and death. Truly the last place to reflect on yourself. And when you get to that point, it's natural to wonder if there's a blissful afterlife waiting for you beyond that point. For me at least, whether or not there is such a life, I think I'll be glad knowing I lived a good one down here.